Naruto vs Pain is one of the best fights in Naruto, and in this video, I'll break down why. In the first phase, Naruto kills the Osteopath and fights the summonings alongside the Toads. Phase 1 ends when Naruto uses Frog Kumite in order to kill the Predator Path. Phase 2 starts with Naruto using Rasen Shuriken. He kills the Human Path with this attack. As Sage Mode runs out, the Toads help him trap and kill the Animal Path, ending Phase 2. Phase 3 starts with Naruto and Deva Path using Taijutsu, while Naruto's first clone is summoned. Once Naruto transforms, he throws another Rasen Shuriken, but it's absorbed by the Predator Path that he'd already killed. Naruto uses his transformation strategy to take the Predator out of the picture, but Deva regains his jutsu in time to block. Naruto reveals his true target when he kills Naraka with a surprise attack. Phase 4 starts with Deva pushing back the Narutos. The Toads try to fight him, but they are also pushed away. Naruto gets pulled in and Predator sucks the chakra out of him. Naruto counters by giving his opponent more nature energy, which turns him into a stone frog. Phase 4 ends with Fukasaku getting stabbed and Naruto getting pinned to the ground. Phase 5 is when Naruto enters the six-tailed form and attacks Deva relentlessly. Naruto starts off winning this phase. The phase ends with Deva trapping Naruto in planetary devastation. Phase 6 starts off with some taijutsu exchanges. Naruto uses the Shadow Shuriken technique with his Rasengans to make Pain use up his almighty push. Two clones that were disguised as rocks also appear to hold him down. Pain reacts by stabbing the clones and jumping over the second attack. The countdown before his almighty push recharges continues as all of the rocks and rubble are revealed to be transformed Naruto clones. Pain's jutsu makes it in the nick of time and blows all the clones away, but Naruto has even more clones pushing him forward to keep him in place. The battle ends with Naruto's clones throwing him into Pain to kill him with a Rasengan. Naruto wins phases 1, 2, and 3. Pain wins phases 4 and 5, and Naruto wins phase 6. This fight is easily one of the best in Naruto. It has 6 different phases that are all littered with Chakra's finest strategies. But before I go into strategies, I need to break down what allows these strategies to even exist, and that is weaknesses and drawbacks. Nearly every single jutsu in this battle had a drawback that could be exploited. Almighty Push was Pain's strongest attack, but it had a 10-second cooldown, and the even stronger version had an even longer cooldown. Naruto took advantage of this weakness several times. The next powerful jutsu was Sage Mode. There are so many ways Sage Mode could have been made overpowered, but Kishimoto expertly placed limits. First, it had a time limit. Naruto could only do a few attacks before running out. Naruto countered this by having clones charge nature energy. This detail could have easily been exploited to give Naruto an infinite amount of Sage stocks, but Kishimoto made it so that Naruto could only have 2 charging up at max. While I really don't like how some of the Animal Path summonings can keep regenerating with no drawback, there is still the fact that if the user dies, the summoning disappears, and that's what happens in this fight. Now for strategy. Unlike most other fights, the phases aren't defined by one strategy because Naruto uses several per phase. Naruto's overall game was to kill the paths one by one. One way he accomplished this by simply blitzing a path in 1v1 combat and killing them. He killed Ashura and Predator like this. Another strategy was not only throwing the Rasengan, but expanding it. The next was having Gamakichi capture a path in his mouth as Naruto beats them up and kills them in the dark. After reviving Predator, Pain's strategy is to absorb Naruto's jutsu. Naruto realizes that one of the Pains can revive and decides to target him after diverting their attention. After creating a smokescreen, he geniusly transforms into a Rasen Shuriken to take care of the Predator. His second attack is blown away, but this is enough time for him to strike his true target with a surprise attack. When Predator absorbs Naruto's chakra, he intelligently feeds him nature energy, killing his opponent in the process. Pain also uses strategy when he stabs Fukasaku to prevent him from using the Genjutsu again. Phase 5 is mostly Naruto going berserk, and Pain defending himself, but he is able to stop the fox with a powerful jutsu. In the final phase, Naruto shows so much creativity and battle IQ. He transforms his clones into rubble to surprise attack Pain. He uses the Shadow Shuriken technique to make Pain use up his push. He has more clones ambushed from rocks, and finally, he has clones to hold him in place so that he can attack as soon as Pain uses up his almighty push. This fight is a great display of strategy and epic combat. The fight also has new powers, but I think they are justified. As I said in my escalation and power up video, if a character is seen training, regardless of what new ability they gain, that power is justified. So Naruto being able to throw and expand his Rasen Shuriken wasn't explicitly told to us, but the fact that he was training was more than enough to justify it. But if I want to justify it even further, I can point to Jiraiya using a giant Rasengan in Sage mode and say that changing the shape of a jutsu was shown to be a Sage mode power. For Frog Kumite, we saw a little bit of it before, but we didn't know that it could extend its attacking range. For this, I have the same argument as before. One new move that was undoubtedly explained before this battle was the Stone Frog. While he was training, we saw and were told that Naruto could turn into a stone frog if he didn't control nature energy correctly. So for Kishimoto to find a way to use that in battle was extremely clever. For the six-tailed form, we have known that Naruto can increase the amount of tails he has since the end of part 1. Throughout part 2, we've seen him enter 3 and 4 tails, and since Kurama has 9 tails, having Naruto enter 6 or 8 isn't a surprise. Another thing that adds to this fight is the great ideological battle between the two that has been covered countless times. The build-up and emotion is also great. Naruto has to come face to face with his mentor's killer and the group that left his village in shambles. All of these things are what make this fight one of the best in stories in general. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and check out my manga. All important links will be in the description.